What's up, homies? This is Jokesta back at you with a brand new video. Today we're going to be talking about the top 10 weapons for season 11, and make sure to subscribe because we're going to be doing a BR top 10 weapons as well, so make sure to stay tuned for that. And make sure to check out the SXC sleeves. These sleeves are so helpful when you're playing games and you want to be consistent. Go check them out. There's a website down in the description down below, and let's get right into the video. Top number 10 on our list is the PKM. This gunsmith is very good. I highly suggest you guys try it out, give it a shot, and maybe it will actually work for you. One of my favorite part about this PKM build is that it has a tactical suppressor on there, and it just makes it so much better to play around with. It's silent and it's kind of hard to spot the player using this tactical suppressor. Anyways, the pros and cons on this weapon is that the pros, it has a potential 3-shot kill up to 25 M, and so that is a really cool part about it. It has a really easy recoil and 200 mags to expand. The problem with it is it has the slowest mobility and the ADS speed out of all of the LMGs, and the weapon switch is super slow. So by the time you're switching out your weapon, you're about to die. Just so you know, I've made a video and I've always pulled out the weapon way too slow, so that's why it's on the top number 10. Top number 9 on the list is the Fennec. Now the Fennec actually has a few pros and a few cons. So the pros are, it has the fastest fire rate. So if you miss a few shots, it's like not a big issue. You can actually always finish the job. And it also has a really good strong hip fire performance. So right here, I'm gonna pull up, there's gonna be a player right here, and I'm gonna try to hip fire this guy. And it's really good. So hip firing with this thing is incredible. Now the cons on this is the flinch is really bad. You can't use the attachments like no stock, and you can, but it's just gonna limit yourself to close range gunfights only. And then the sprint to fire speed is so slow. You need to improve the sprint to fire speed by using the attachments like the 5 MW laser. It's also inconsistent damage multipliers, so that's another thing to keep in mind about this Fennec. But overall, we're going to move on to the top number 8 on the list, and it's the ASVAL. The ASVAL is an aggressive assault rifle and is offering a consistent TTK in close range. So it's kind of like a prime choice for search and destroy, but I prefer the M13. You guys get the idea. But anyways, there's a pros about this is silent by default, so that's really nice. And it's like an SMG like fast fire rate, which makes it missing shots less punishing. So that's why we use ASVAL. Now the cons on this rifle is that the bullet speed gives slower TTK the further the range. And another con for the ASVAL is that the recoil is tricky to control towards the end of the spray. Like if you're spending a lot of bullets just spraying through, at the very end it's going to be hard to control. So try to like master it, but anyways, I prefer using like operative foregrip, something like that. But anyways, moving on to the next on the list is the Peacekeeper MK2. Now the Peacekeeper is not the only weapon on the top 7 list. So there's another one out there, and we're going to talk about it in a bit. But as the Peacekeeper, it's really easy to use. It's just straightforward. Like if you're out there looking for an alternative to an ICR or like an M4, this is a really good rifle. It's just like you running aim down sight and you're good to go. Now the alternative is the Razorback. It's also in top 7, and I prefer the Razorback over Peacekeeper, and the reason why is because the Razorback has a function. It functions like an assault rifle. It fulfills the same utility as a Peacekeeper playing the flex of an AR role, and we need that rapid fire perk, which is really good. It increases the fire rate and allows us for a faster time to kill. So Razorback is a really good choice. Now moving on to the top number 6 on the list is the Hoger 26. The Hoger 26 is currently the best overall LMG to use, unless, you know, Call of Duty decides to switch things up a little bit with the PKM. But instead, no, they're gonna keep the Hoger as, you know, the place it is right now. It's top number 6, and it is a very good rifle, the LMG, to play around with. So the pros are, it's the best in class for LMG, mobility with no stock and light barrel attachments. Also can give an AR conversion mag for even more, you know, better playstyle. But the cons are, it has a slow ADS and a sprint speed, which is limited for an aggressive player. Like if you're out there aggressively, it's going to be really hard to use. It has a really slow ADS, sprint speed is terrible, and yeah, so the iron sights is another thing that sucks about it. But anyways, moving on to another top number 5 on the list is the M13. Now, I actually like the M13 personally. I like to use it more than other weapons on this list. It's just fits way better for like search and destroy. If you play like domination and hardpoint, I don't know if the M13 will be like there to help you out a lot, but if it comes down to search and destroy, it helps out a lot from my experience. Now, it's like the pros about this weapon is that it has like an SMG fire rate type of thing, so making the missing the shots less punishing. So that's one of the biggest thing, is that when you're out there, you miss a shot, not a big deal. You can, you know, get another few shots in and you'll get it. And also having an option for 60 mag, which makes doing a 1v5 more manageable without reloading, you know what I mean? So yeah, moving on to the number 4 on the list is the SVD. Now, as you guys see my previous top 10 weapon list, SVD was one of the best weapons. It was like ranked number 2 or somewhere along there, and it's super easy to play around with. Like, I don't play with snipers much, you know, like I'm not that good with it, but SVD just makes me look professional. It makes me look good, and hard scoping feels amazing with it. Everyone always complains in the comments that I'm hard scoping, and I'm like, yeah, I don't care, you know, as long as I can get these kills, that's all that matters to me. And the cons on this thing, it has a bad default scope which blocks everything, and that's why if you buy the legendary SVD, it's a lot better. But yeah, if you use the regular SVD, just use a scope on there, and that's the only downside with the SVD. Anyways, moving on to top number 3 is the SKS. Now, this bad boy has been in the comp scene for a while. I know there's a few players out there that's been using it and maining it, and everyone's just getting very annoyed with the players using the SKS. Now, I'm always worried whenever I play ranked games and people use the SKS, because it has an option to one-shot you or 2 shots. Now, that's a very dangerous weapon. Like, I'm scared of facing players with the SKS. I always remember their names. I'm like, okay, this guy is very scary to play against. I don't want to mess with him. And overall, the SKS has a easy recoil, which makes it very easy to spam, and has a faster fire rate compared to other semi-auto rifles out there, so on the list, and marksman rifles. Like, it's really easy to mess around with. Anyways, we're going to be moving on to top number 2 on the list is the CBR4. Now, I love the SMGs a lot, and the CBR4 is making its way to the top of the list. And the pros about it, it has fast time to kill at close range, which is very comparable to the Type 25, and it's easier to achieve. Another pro is that it has a big mag and a fast reload cancel, so whenever you're reloading, you can cancel it. The cons on it, oh, and another pros is that it's an AR wall penetration while being an SMG. That's another pros. That's another thing to keep in mind. Now, the cons on it is mobility, strafing, and sprint speed is slower than a true aggressive SMG like the Fennec or the MX9, and the recoil is not as easy to master as some other automatic weapons like Type 25 or the Hoger or the M13. So yes, the recoil is kind of hard to control, but it's one of the best. Now, top number 1 on the list, you guys already know this, it's the Type 25. The Type 25 has been the top guy for the last season, and a lot of people like it and a lot of people don't like it, and I understand why. But for this this season, it's definitely the number 1, and this is a new gunsmith that I'm trying out, and during this gameplay I was like, dang man, I like this build a lot, because look at this headshots. Like, it's really easy to actually hit a lot of these shots, and I was thinking maybe this is the new build that everyone should try out. So if you're out there thinking about using a gunsmith, try this build out. It has a suppressor on there as well. I love using Type 25 with suppressors. If you guys seen me in the past year ago, I was using the suppressor all the time, and I highly recommend it. And the thing about the Type 25, it has a best in the class, it's easy to use, and it's very lethal in effective ranges. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in another video. Peace out.